Good afternoon, good evening, and good day. Good morning to those of you on the West Coast, and happy Father's Day to all of you that participate. All right, let's try and get this exit space up and going. Let's see if it starts on the first try. It says it did, but do we believe it? No, we don't believe it, but it did work. Look at that. All right, so now let's pull up the chat here on the video, and then we'll pull up the space and see what's going on. Okay. Facebook profile and LinkedIn are sending me a message. Don't know if that's a good thing. Probably isn't. All right, let's go ahead and do a little plus action here. Let's do. How do I do this here today? There we go. Okay, doesn't want to participate. That's fine. That's working. Well, there we go. And we'll pull in the and friends. Let's do add, copy. All right, come over to this app. If you couldn't tell, I woke up late, but I haven't missed you guys yet, so why start missing you now? So let's go to, I've got 11 message requests. They just kind of like put those off to the side and show you once a week. Somebody's trying to reach you, and they've been blocked or delayed for various reasons. Oh, wow. I have been out of this chat. I don't know how. So Lee was asking about Muto's procedure. So we'll answer that.
Mic check.
What's up, Highlander? Good morning. Happy Father's Day.
Good morning. I was going to say Happy Father's Day to you. I wasn't sure if you'd open your room. I'm actually on a huge ship in the middle of the Maumee River.
Oh, there you go. Is that part of the event or just in general?
This is, somebody suggested it as a Father's Day gift for me, so I'll take a couple pictures and post them on the pill.
There you go. That sounds like fun. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Any Father's Day plans for you by the wife and two young ladies?
They let me sleep all the way in. About 15 minutes before go live, my wife was like,
That's
hey.
the best prize of all.
Right? Yeah. About 15 minutes before go live, my wife was like, hey, don't you guys show? Oh, I do. Let me wake up. So here we are. I'm not entirely without content. I've got one item in the notebook, and then I've got I finally drove a Model Y for the first time ever, and it was about 3 days. So I'm gonna get to that as soon as I answer this question and paste this link in here.
Okay, two of the pictures showed up. I'll take one more from the ship.
All right.
And I have an update on the Tesla superchargers over there in Oregon, Ohio for you in a little bit.
That sounds like fun. Let's take a look at these pictures here. It says reconnect. Why would it say that? That doesn't sound good, does it? But we're actually chatting, so it's not like it like it's doing what it did the last couple of weeks. Oh, that's cool. They got mini golf on the chip.
Yeah, it's free. I'm just about to walk back towards over. Once you pay the admission to the ship or whatever, it's included. And they've got like 6 or 8 setups of putt-putt golf.
Nice.
They were pointing towards the big river, but you can guess what happened with that setup.
All the golf balls are going in there.
All the balls, yeah, floated down the river. So they turned them the other way where they can at least recapture them off the park.
There you go. That makes more sense.
Yeah. It's like when I went to the Detroit Tigers, and at the beginning of the game, they gave away free baseballs to everybody.
Wow. But everybody threw them
Well,
in the
half
field.
the baseballs wound up getting thrown at each other on the day. Yep. From then on, they gave away the promotional baseballs as people were leaving the stadium.
There you go.
Yeah, much better.
Let's luckily throw them at the crew. Wow. I've got the video capture, but what I think I needed to figure out how to do is how to work it in the microphone interface, because it's not just a microphone interface, and I've been wasting that capability of it for too long. But that's not to figure out live, because I'll be most likely to break something at that point. And well, I don't like breaking stuff live if I can help it. All right, and let's paste.
Is that for the YouTube feed or the X feed?
Both. YouTube, X, LinkedIn, all them. Whoever's actually tuned in and listening. So we got that in there, and then Lee asked a question about the CEO. I'm not sure. And then one more I'm missing on there. Yes, he is. Yes, he is, Lee. So now I need to send an email. New to there we go. And there we go. Send. All right, so let me pull up the notebook real quick, and then we'll get into what happened this week, because it was pretty fun for me. Let's pull up this viewer to make sure that YouTube's even working. Hey, Lee's there. Lee says happy Sunday. Good to see you, Lee. Let's go on over to content, I guess, and then live. And let's make sure the settings are on for this show. We're going to do... Oh, they are not. It's a live stream. And we're not using AI. Save. And yeah, all the rest of the stuff is on. Good. Let's go back to the studio center, whatever. It says excellent condition, so even though I don't see a picture, it must be working, right? Okay, check the audio real quick. Wow, I'm so loud. I'm going to leave it because you guys have probably already adjusted the volume the way you like it, and then we'll go from there. Let's pull this back up. Okay. And we will open up the notebook and see what I put in there. At the beauty is there's no picture. That means that I read it from the phone. And we're going to copy the link. And we're going to open a new tab. Might as well do it here in this window. Oh, sweet. I actually wanted a new window anyway. So we got a new window. Perfect. So what I was going to do is open a tab and then pop it out. We're going to share this tab. No, not audio. Window. Oh, no, not window. You're right. A web browser tab. No, we're not doing a Linux backup here live on the show. There we go. We're going to talk about images that are leaked of the new 2026 Rivian R1T quad motor. It's got an X. And that is awesome. I saw it yesterday, while we were out traveling the world. We saw a Rivian R1S charging at a fairly new supercharger, and we saw Polestar join them at the same supercharger. And it's one of the ones where they are on both sides of an aisle of parking. So you can approach it from both sides.
Sorry to interrupt. That's exactly the pictures I'm going to post. Admires the big, tall, brand new black and white ones where they're like opposing each other.
Yeah.
The one on the end's handicap, one's a pull through. It's kind of separate from the rest.
Oh, cool. For, like towing.
And then a Cadillac, the brand new Cadillac electric pulled up and was trying to charge it.
Oh, nice.
So I don't know if it's commissioned. I know they put in the transformer.
Yeah.
Which was basically the last step, but
it has to be connected though. Hopefully they were successful and it's on, or they were not just SOL and try to scramble to find some charging.
Well, the older red ones at the top, it's lit up, and either the top will be red or it'll say lit up red Tesla. But if this brand new one where I live is commissioned, shouldn't there be something lit up at the top? I mean, call me naive, but
I don't recall. I do believe that the Tesla on the side is lit up, but definitely there's a little white Tesla T logo that is on the side where you pull out the handle. It will be lit up if it's working. So on this Rivian, already the Rivian doesn't have the charger on the charger inlet on the correct side for the short cables charging stations. But the good thing is, neither does the Polestar. So so they were able to just I think they both did wrong side charging, because this is one of the ones where you can push the handle through the wrong side. But not only did they both do wrong side charging, they both did side by side. So they only took up two chargers on the opposite side from where one would expect them to be. So that worked out. And this is particularly useful because this station, for some reason, is missing two stalls. The posts are just out, and you see the wires coming up out of the cables coming up out of the ground, and they're taped off and capped off. Like, for some reason, Tesla was unable to find any V3 stations to replace them with, but was able to remove them while they wait on parts or something. I don't know. Although it would also be weird if they had put in some turned them into just those two, turned them into V3 pluses, and so you have some tall ones, and it'd be like a mismatch. They do have that in places where they've just kind of just added on stations and added on, but I don't know that they've had any where they did just some of the stalls in the new stuff. So I don't know that it necessarily has the capability to be a V4 plus with half of the stalls connected to the output and V3 native on the other. or maybe they just are waiting on the contractor. Maybe it's a different person to come out and remove them than it is to install them. It doesn't sound like Tesla, but it's been that way now for a couple of weeks. It's interesting. Thankfully, there hasn't been a line in any of the time that I've been using that one while it's been down. But all of that to say, in the photos we see here, the delete of the R1T quad, it's got a NACS port, and the port didn't move. So that was all the whole story was about. The port didn't move, so it's the only thing different is they don't need an adapter anymore. And then all of the 2026 Rivians, they've again committed to having the port if you have the 2026 model year. So no more adapters for you either, just NACS native. So let's look at these pictures that were swiped from Marquez Brownlee. He had a video up, and then it came down as if he was accidentally breaking his embargo. The images above were posted by John Redinger on June 8th with the caption, "Hey Rivian, you know what's a great hand in poker? Quads." And then we see the port is open, and it's got a lot of empty space around it because the NACS port is smaller than CCS1. Yeah, CCS1. The rest of it's the same. And I commented on the Tesla Live show this week, or one of the Express shows, that so close, yet so far. This is fine on the long cable stations. So the V4 pedestals. It's still kind of a hassle at the non V4 stations. So this should be on the front passenger side. So that way the Rivian, if it's towing, can just nose on up to the station, and they don't have to unhook or anything. Just plug right in to the stall that the station is expecting. And I think that would be more convenient for everybody. I'm not suggesting move it to the back of the side of the car that's on, because then you'd have to unhook while towing, and that sucks, to be honest. Move it on over, and then that also, as I was pointing out there, it would get to the point where Rivian was saying that. I didn't give you the ability to add people to the room there, Eiler. So I've invited you to do that, and that way you can check people out and let them on, or whatever's required. Having this port on the passenger side would also go to what RJ Scaringe was saying about the why he wanted the port on the passenger side of the rear of the R2 and the R3. He was saying that it was for safety and curbside charging that happens so often in my experience. I say that to say not at all. And over 100,000 miles with just the Tesla, I've curbside charged once or twice, and in all of my time from production plug-in cars from 2012 to today, I've done it a total of 3 times, and 2 of them were with the Volt. So, hello, Magato. Happy Father's Day. Yeah, me. Look at this bow you're wearing. Your mom made you a bow. Look at this bow she's wearing. It's got a hamburger on it. Yeah. It does. Have you had a good morning? You did? I'm glad to hear it. Hi. You say hi this morning? Hi. No? Okay. Let's go on over to yeah, so that was what the in the notebook was the next native Rivian. Let's go ahead and close that down. Boop. And here we are again. Huh. It took your bow off. There it is. There's your bow. I'm not taking you. Yeah. Who's that? Is that Makato? Is that Makato? It looks like you. All that? Okay. Okay, so let's get into the Model Y story. So, oh, Highlander has his hand up. Go ahead, Highlander.
Yeah, trying to stick with the charger theme. I posted 3 pictures of the chargers I keep talking about.
Let's take a look at the Oregon.
And now we're on to motors, right?
Yeah, the Oregon Charger. Let's take a look at that. Those are beautiful. So yeah, so the station I was at was that same setup, but with the V3s, the pure V3s, not the V3 pluses like these ones. And how do I know it's a plus? I'm looking at the charger cabinet you showed me on the end of that row. Pretty cool stuff. I wonder if this is well, no, I guess it wouldn't be prefab because if it was, it would have been open already, right? If they were able to just crane them in and plug them in. They look ready though. They don't have any tape on them saying that they're not open. Okay. Maybe that Cadillac guy was able to charge natively. I'm not sure. Let's open this back up. I hear breakfast. Oh, what happened? There he goes. What happened, Island?
It threw me out of the room, buddy. I don't know what happened.
That's so weird. I was talking to you and then it got real quiet. So I was saying that I was asking you if they were prefab, but then I was noticing that if they were prefab, they would have just been able to drop them in and plug them in, right? Lisa's so precious, so precious. It's you. Boop, boop. Yeah. Okay, so the reason we were in a Model Y, let's go back to the top. A couple weeks ago, I told you that my car had stopped charging for 5 days and wouldn't charge at home. It wouldn't charge at the supercharger. And the lights around the charge port, they changed colors. Well, first they looked wet, and then they changed colors, or didn't work at all. And then it came back, and then we were able to schedule for Tesla. I guess we scheduled, and then it all finally worked out that we were able to get there and get a car because to leave it overnight without a car is rough because what I found out during the legal proceedings we've been having for the last 8 years is that the other side, they flew a lady in and she rode Uber and it cost her $500 to get halfway to here so from where Tesla is. So I told him I'm not spending $500 in Uber just because you guys aren't getting around this whole dealer problem you've got. So they were able to secure a loaner, and we moved days to make that happen. And I could get into the protection racket, but let's stay closer to the topic here. And so anyway, Thursday was that day, and so I drove up to Columbia, South Carolina, and dropped off Tachikoma, and that's our Model X P100D 2018 over 100,000 miles. Minimal problems, although it did have a couple vehicle down issues that were no fun because they happened in the field. One of them was after switching out the rear drive unit, the large unit, for one that doesn't have coolant. The new unit failed almost immediately. So that was fun. That put us down. And the other vehicle down situation was our battery was in great health. However, the older battery packs had a condition where the condensation in the air, or I guess the water vapor in the air, could become condensation inside the battery pack, and it could corrode the BMS boards and all of the sensor cabling inside the battery pack. And that's what happened to us. So one day we supercharged again in Orangeburg, South Carolina, and supercharging started to slow down, and then it said, "Hey, you're good to go." So we unplugged, and that was a mistake. You should not have unplugged, because the car said it was done. It killed the battery because it couldn't determine that it was safe. So it still had 88% health on the cells and the modules, but it no longer had continuity inside the controls and sense of the system. So they swapped us out for a new one that had more of like conformal coating and sealing in it, and hopefully that won't be a problem anymore. That's why when you look at the teardowns of the Model 3 onward, everything's full of goo. The goo means that you can't replace the goo with water. Joel says, "Happy Father's Day to you, my favorite YouTube dad." Thank you. Happy Father's Day to you as well, Joel. Thank you. And so that was the other vehicle down situation of this particular car in the last 8 years. We had this one that we were in for. I guess you could call it vehicle down if we had to go anywhere outside the range, which we kind of did. We had an appointment for Motoko, medical appointments, and well, if you're familiar with the older Teslas, they have vampire drain, phantom drain, like nothing else. Even if you've turned off the Sentry mode and you're not clicking in on the app all the time, it will just lose a few miles a day. If you don't open the app. If you do open the app, oh boy, it could get special. Ooh, don't spin the camera. No, I've got the napkin here. You can throw up if you want to throw up. It's okay. It's okay. Don't hold it in. That's why it hurts. You're okay. You're okay. Yeah, see? Yeah. Relax yourself. You'll be all right. Yeah. That also means you're not hungry. If you're leaking, you're not hungry. So that could have been a vehicle down situation, except that we never had to go anywhere outside the range aside from the initial appointment where Tesla then told me that they were going to leave us stuck with a large transportation situation. I had an old Model S and knew the settings to toggle to get the least drain. With a Model Y, I don't know the settings. Do you know? So actually, on my old Model S as well, there was a toggle, but I don't think they have it even on as old as mine is. It's too new to have the setting. And then I definitely didn't see it in any of the Model 3s, and it was not there on the Model Y that I had this week. You good? So one of the options they had was the ability to turn off the DRLs. Not that they had that much of an effect on things, but when there were only 20 superchargers in the country, you might have wanted to save a few more watts, even though they didn't add any real miles. It could have made the difference. Now it's like, the most you might want to do is turn off the air conditioner, but not even that really these days. Yes. And us older cars that don't have the heat pumps, definitely want to turn off the heat if you're struggling for that last little bit of miles to get to the station. But with the way the stations are popping up, that's becoming less and less of a thing. I got you. Okay. Yeah. So that didn't put us down because we never needed to travel outside the range of the car while it was unable to charge. And the day arrived where we were able to reschedule where they had a loaner car. And so I showed up this week, I think Thursday, and they had a Model Y available for us to drive, which was our first time because we've had S, we've had X, and we've had plenty of Model 3 loaners, but never had a Model Y loaner, and I never bothered going on a test drive or anything. I don't even know if I'd actually sat in a Model Y before. But the no, I don't believe I have, because the last interaction we had with the Model Y before Juniper was when my Model X tried to run over the insurance agent's Model Y, and oh, that swore me off of Smart Summon for quite a while, unless it was an absolute emergency. And speaking of which, I did get to try actually Smart Summon again on this later update of version 3 hardware, and it wasn't as smooth as the first time we tried it. The first time it was pretty smooth, and I was left with the impression of, well, what's different about it? Well, yours is actually smart and mine is not, because the performance was the same. And other than being able to see the streaming cameras, because Tesla has decided that not having streaming cameras is enough to make us upgrade our cars early. Yeah, right. Yeah. Okay. This time it was starting to rain, which is why I wanted to use it, because I didn't want to get wet. And it started to go, and then it did. So again, I'm still not actually seeing any difference other than being able to see the cameras. It started to go, and then it just paused. It said avoiding collision, and it aborted. It was in an odd corner parking spot, but there were no other cars or people or bicycles, anything that could have had a collision with. So then after it quit, I turned it back on again and told it to come to me again, and it did an okay job. There was a car parked right in front of me, but there was a space for it to fit, and it chose to just stop at the right spot, but in the lane of travel. Thankfully, it was just me. I was able to load the groceries with everything was in one hand. Load the groceries in the back seat, and then run around to the front, and then get in and go. But so far, I still don't see why it's actually smart and mine is not. Other than that, the new Smart Summon is using the FSD stack instead of the one from 4 years ago. Let's see. They replaced my 2024 Model Y's computer and gave me an S. It was fun. There you go. Yeah. Where are we going? So we had the they put us in a Model Y, and it was the pre Juniper. So I kept thinking, what year is it? And then not checking on it because they don't give you the year in the interface, and they don't put the year on their key cards. And they do put the VIN and then what color so you can find it. But I don't know what year it was. It was old enough that it still had hardware 3 and the frog face. And it had FSD turned on. It had the internet turned on, which was nice. And I drove it from Columbia back to this house. And yes. Oh. Well, we don't hit. So you don't gotta hit. That's what you need to say. That's right. Again with the hitting. It was an uppercut. I'm assuming they were accidents. Because you weren't even looking at me. Just bang. Yeah. Hi. Good afternoon. Are you done standing? Okay. You sit right here. Yeah, so I don't know what year this thing was, and I drove it back uneventfully. FSD did the trick. I really love the feature of the cars with the cameras where you don't have to hold onto the wheel all the time. I'd kind of like them to figure out a way to do that on legacy cars as well. And it was uneventful, and I do like the seating position better on the Model Y than the Model 3, same as I do on my Model X versus the Model S. They have the same seats as their counterparts, but oh, sweet, thank you. I've got veggie pups. Veggie pups. Oh, you want milk? Thank you. A little parched. Thank you. What's wrong? I see you disguising farts with a cough. Do you want to burp? Let's burp it. Let's burp it. Okay, so the drive back was uneventful. The car charged just fine on my 100 amp circuit. It only took 46, and my circuit only allows 80 because you got to derate by 20% for long-term loads. So I've got an 80 amp home charger, and the car took the Ning. I told her you were hungry. She's getting milk. She's getting milk now. Yeah, milk Ning, right? Ning is the only word that she uses, other than the one time she said hi. Yeah. And so you got to figure out what Ning means. And Ning means I want attention. You need to service me. But you don't know which one. It usually is milk, but not always. She can Ning, and you give her milk, and she's like, I don't want that. So anyway, the drive down was nice. Then we drove it around for our run around, and it did well. Most of the time, the baby seats were in the trunk because Moto was asleep during our daddy-daughter errand running, and then it came time for us to go to her cousin's birthday and put all the seats in, and Moto seemed to like it. And this one, she was enthralled with the yes, you were, with the better ceiling view that she gets in the Model Y versus the through the porthole of the wing, the Falcon wing door that she could see, because she's still rear facing, and it did well there as well. Again, absolutely love the hands-free FSD. As long as you're looking out the window, it's not freaking out. I did get one time when the sun was going down. I'm not that hard to see. I'm very reflective. Where the sun was going down and it said it couldn't see me. Please hold the wheel. But that was just once. And I think what happened there was I was looking down at something, but I was looking up through the glasses and it couldn't tell where I was looking. And so the attentive feature wasn't working. And after I held the wheel that one time, it was back to normal. Excuse me. Yes. Yeah, I felt that fart. I felt that fart. You two did. Who two did? You two did. Ning, yes. Yes, Ning. Mommy's getting it. Mommy's getting it. Yes, mommy's getting it. Yeah, it's coming. Well, the reason she gives you cold milk is because you complain so much and you don't wait. So she gives you cold milk. Yeah. But if you would wait a second, she could give you warm milk. You like warm milk, don't you? You do. Yeah. So let her warm it up. Yeah, Ning, you're not starving. You're just hungry or bored. And since I said, you were leaking when I picked you up, that means that you weren't actually empty there. Ning, yes. Ning. I don't care what you're saying, Daddy. I want the milk. That's a pretty bow you have. Your mommy made you a pretty bow? Yeah. Yeah. It's got a hamburger on it. Yeah. Why are you yelling at me? You're not the boss of me. Huh? What you got? Yeah, there you go. So we were driving up to her cousin's house to attend the birthday party, and FSD did well there as well. It's a little different than mine in behavior, even though they're both set to hurry, and it loaded my cloud profile. Although my cloud profile is exclusively from Model 3s at this point. Yeah, because the last Model X we drove was before they had the cloud profiles. The last Model X we had that could have had a cloud profile was from before the cloud profiles. And then the last one after that was just like ours. Actually, it was older by a year. So that one couldn't have done it either. So yeah, my profile consisted before then solely of Model 3s. And one behavior is if you got somebody slow running in the passing lane on a 2-lane road, and you tell it to pass them on the right, it will pass them and then go right back to the passing lane, even if passing lane is then in front of the slow person has then got more slow traffic. So that was fun. So I commanded it and then commanded it back where I had it. It's like, hey, you're in hurry mode. You should hurry correctly. And other times, just like mine, I found it doing what I wanted it to do before I could tell it to do it. The charging is incredibly quick. Most of our supercharger stops wanted 9 minutes. Like, there's not enough time to do the stuff we do at charging stations in 9 minutes. Let alone get one unbuckled, changed, and then put back in there with the seatbelt on. We're used to like 15 to 20 minutes. You stretch your legs a little bit. So that was a new experience. And that's where we found the Rivian and the Polestar charging. The Rivian was already there, and it was there when we left. The Polestar had shown up, and then when we were ready to leave, all the Model 3s and Model Ys had also finished, and we all left as if it was like a weird snooty lunch club. And all the Teslas just left because the others showed up, which isn't what happened. That's just how it looked. As everybody was at the charge. You have enough charge. Continue your trip. So we all did, and that was fun. That was very fun. So after that, actually before that, before that, they had called me up to say that they'd figured out that they don't know what's wrong with the car. It was charging perfectly, and there were no more codes left. They did see the old codes. They didn't know what was going on. The car was complaining that anything we plugged into it didn't have a good safety signal. So it was as if it was leaking electricity, not just into the earth, but also into the area surrounding the charger. So that, in my home charger's case, 100 amps of 240, just in the general area of my. Your toe is poking. Your toe is poking through the footy. Look at this toe. Yeah, so in my case, half of the home's power would be leaking in the vicinity near uh, near the charge station. And in the case of the superchargers, that's much more significant. 300 volts at 300 amps or 400 volts at 400 amps, depending on what we were plugging into. Leaking into the area around the charger would be a really bad idea. Uh, the car was wrong, and the remote technician saw it, and the guy working on our car this week saw the history of it, but he didn't see the manifestation of the issue. So they called us up on Friday at 30 minutes to close. Said, yeah, your car is good. The system had shown that we needed a part to replace to get it back to 100%, and that part was about $850, and it was the new charge port and hardware to go with it, and labor. So I was like, okay, approve. And then the lady, she called me up very politely, said, this just fixes the lights, right? We couldn't find a problem and couldn't replicate it. And we open it up, pull everything out. We don't see any water. We don't see any corrosion. Nothing is disconnected. Do you want to spend $1,000 for 3 or 4 LED segments? I said, no, I don't. No, I don't. I'd like to save that money. And she's like, that's what I thought. That's why I gave you a call. And so they canceled that. And I said, okay, I guess you want your car back. And when do you close? She said 30 minutes. I said, well, without some 1960s, I Dream of Jeannie teleportation, I will not be able to make that 3-hour journey in 3 hours, 2.5 with traffic. I would be able to make that journey in time for you to leave. And it's Friday night, so I don't want to say I'm on the way and make you wait around. One, I was still working, so it would actually be even longer than that. And I said, can I just drop it off and pick up my car? She said, yeah. You got to pay to pick up your car first. Initially, they told me it was going to be about $200 and change for a diagnostic fee. Come to find out, when she got everything in the computer, they adjusted it to just the technician's time. So they charged me for an hour of actual work. Actually, less than an hour of actual work at Tesla's rates. And so it came to $85 after everything. And they said, okay, but you have to pay this before your car will work again. I didn't know they have that capability for the legacies, but they do. I would have figured it existed on the new ones already, and it does. That one I already knew because I saw a guy waiting on his insurance company to pay for his car so he could leave. They were dragging butt, so he was stuck in the showroom. Or not really a showroom because it's a service center only, and not a real service center because you can't have that in states named South. And this being in the capital of South Carolina, it was clearly a state named South. And so while he was in the waiting area for not a service center, there's stuff they can't do. Anything that looks like quick lube, nothing with tires, nothing with fluids. Still not entirely sure what they are allowed to do there, but they were able to do my service there, and they were able to do. Hello, Moto.
What's he doing? Why my cousin pick a bowl?
Your cousin picked the bows because your mommy made them for them.
A big one?
A big one?
Daddy, no room for a walk.
No room for you to walk. Hold on, let me move this table for you. Woo.
No room now.
There's room now. Good afternoon. How are you?
What's the variable?
Why she wearing the bow? The mommy put the bow on her? Oh, you gave her the fast nipple. She's gonna complain that that's so fast.
Why my cat say and
Sayla and Phoenix and Marley?
my cat said why variable and switch herself on the variable on the radio and I read myself radio and I get to bow.
You got 2 bows? You got mommy make your bows? Oh, you feed your sister? Thank you. Oh, you're leaking. Open your mouth if you want it. You asked for Ning like 10 minutes ago.
I think she wants to hold it by herself.
She wants to hold it by herself, but she doesn't know how. She always ends up taking it out. You want me to help you?
She doesn't want me. I think she wants me.
Oh, you want? She's pushing it out of her mouth. She doesn't want it now.
I want to see her.
But she doesn't want it. She's sticking it out. She's like this. She's well. She thinks she's full. Now she's just holding it in her mouth. Hope she's not listening.
I think she wants to hold it by her. I think she don't want me hold it. I think she wants. Yeah. I think she. Yeah.
She's like, I don't want it. Don't want it. Here, let's try her again later. She's kind of calm right now. Thank you.
I did see that. It's a bird.
It's a burp. She didn't put it in her mouth. She kept sticking it out. Yeah, that's her. That's her leg.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know which leg. It's her leg.
In her.
I'm sure you look closely at the image and see her arm, but I don't see her arm in it. Okay, so where were we on the journey? So the lady told me, got to pay to pick it up, and I saw the other guy there waiting on his insurance, where they didn't have the money, so his car was not reactivating. So he's just kind of walking around the waiting area, and this was when I dropped off our car while she was getting mine ready. They were doing building maintenance and addressing this guy's issues. And
Bye, Daddy.
okay, bye. See you later. Love you.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye, my Decker. Bye. Bye, my Decker.
Don't hit.
Bye.
I guess she was waving too close to her face, so she get that out of my face. So the total came to $85 because she put in that actual time. Yes, actual time spent instead of the diagnostic and instead of anything else they could have put in there. And I said, okay, we're gonna park it on the charger, we're gonna lock it up, and just unlock it with your app, and you'll be ready to go after we have our money. So I gave them, went in to go pay, and our friend Winston had bought a vehicle from my referral code. Thank you again, by the way. And so there was credit on the account. So where you normally pick which credit card you want to charge, it said Tesla credit, and it took it out of that. I was like, yes, this is awesome. So it was a completely comfortable service situation. My first time at this, not a service center, and and that was fun. What else happened with that car? That was the most of it right there. That was the most of it. The FSD, the charging, both at home and on the supercharger. At home was it was still about as fast as it is for us. It was 6 hours instead of 4. Ours can get done in 4 to the set point, and this one took 6 hours to get to the set point. And from empty, it get 4 hours to set point, and then this one was decidedly not empty. It was like 20% to the set point, so 30, 20 to 80 took 6 hours. But again, that's all the range we needed for the day. If we needed faster, we could supercharge anywhere. And I mean, from the time if you come in and go straight to bed, to the time you need to use the vehicle again, it's either completely reached the set point or it's reached enough for you to reach any supercharger to fix the situation. Assuming that you're in the main continental body of whatever continent you live on. If you're in Alaska, maybe not. Hawaii, you got it. As long as you're on an island, it's got a supercharger. Same for Sweden and a couple other places like that. Speaking of Sweden, happy Father's Day to you, Anders. What's up, baby? What's up? You jumping? I'll be jumping. All right. Yes. So as long as you're not in like the extreme wilderness, a couple hours of charging, even if you didn't fully get to your set point, is enough to get back. And Hank Green pointed out on his things that electric car owners do that upset him video that some people only need level 1 charging at home, and he's right. But there's a great peace of mind by having more than just level 1 charging. But if you like work less than 20 miles from the house, or you don't leave the house all that often, then level 1 isn't a bad idea. Even if you get it hardwired, although I don't know you'd want to spend the money to hardwire level 1. They do exist. And in his case, if you had an emergency trip, you could always go supercharge as well. And he doesn't drive a Tesla, that's pretty clear. It sounds like he's driving a Hyundai, but I don't know that either. He pointed out that you should be driving a used one. Yes, that's true. Used ones save you a ton of money. But somebody's going to drive the new one so the used one exists. Anyway, so all of that to say that level 1 charging would be fine for a lot of people. And level 2, don't fret if you don't reach the set point overnight. Although if you're at a full speed charger, there's no reason you shouldn't reach the set point before you wake up, or at least are done with your rest period. The reason that I like that ours can do a 4-hour recharge is, originally our car was supposed to be a Model S charger, but we took the fee we'd been saving up to do that retrofit for the second charger on a Model S to give it the full 80 amps. Again, obviously talking the pre-facelift Model S, so I still have the nose cone. You could have dual chargers, and the dual chargers would give you 40 amps plus 40 amps for full 80, which is the full spec J1772 or full spec Next. Of course, now no new Tesla can even max out J1772 or Next AC charging. While you've got stuff like the Hummer EV with its 212-ish kilowatt hour battery, it needs all 80 amps to get done overnight. And even then, it might not. It might be like 10 hours, depending on where you parked it at, like at 0% or 10%, or if it had to do any maintenance at the top. But again, with a 212 kilowatt hour battery, you're not doing any local driving that could confuse that situation. And if you do need to take a road trip after immediately coming home on E, and then take another road trip, that thing can charge pretty quick too. You probably want to use a 1,000-volt station, even though it's a 400-volt car, because it can parallel. It already has parallel. It can series the pack to take advantage of a 1,000-volt charger, which currently is only non-superchargers, but this month, according to what they told us a couple of months ago, bless you. According to what Tesla told us, we should be seeing our first V4 native supercharger. It may have already happened and I missed the news, but I have a feeling that such news would not miss me. So I look forward to seeing the first V4 native and somebody's charging their Cybertruck on it. I guess not Kyle. Kyle can probably go and borrow somebody's Cybertruck because he's really good at sourcing vehicles for stuff like this. But what that will give us is 1 megawatt at the charger. Not that the Cybertruck is rated for megawatt yet. I think they said, 500 kilowatt charging. None of that was, no, cancel Siri. Cancel. None of that sounded like the wake word for the Apple Assistant. I still see you. Cancel Siri. I'm using the iPad as the screen for the camera, and so it's flipped. So it's writing stuff backwards, and I can't really read it. But the screen's got the rainbow, and I dismissed it, and I saw it acknowledge the cancel. Then the screen still had a rainbow around the outside, and I'm like, I still see you, and then it went away. We were talking about charging. Yeah, so if you are in the Hummer EV, you can charge it back really quickly if you had back-to-back road trips. Because that's when I got to the V4 native. So the V4 native is a megawatt, and it's actually 1.23 megawatts. I have 1.4. I don't remember. I gotta look it up. And the mega charger is also the semi charger for the semi truck. So I am excited, as MrSupercharger.com. I am excited to see that. And then Kyle, like I said, my friend Kyle Connor, he's able to source vehicles for something like a real-time speed charge curve graph of a Cybertruck on the new Megacharger, or to get some Hummer EV or the Silverado EV or any of the other giant pack 1,000 kilowatt capable-ish vehicles. And I can't wait to see how all this goes out, because that is exciting to me. Yes, baby, yes. Yes. So that was all I had in the notebook, and that was my experience with the Model Y. First time ever with the Model Y, where my car wasn't trying to run it over like it did with that insurance agent on Smart Summon. That was when I stopped using Smart Summon, unless it was an emergency. I used what I called Classic Summon, and what Elon, and thus Tesla, called Dumb Summon, where you can roll the car back forwards or back 40 feet-ish. And because my car is old, it's got a key fob, and I can do it from the key, or I can push the stalk twice. And I don't think you guys can do walk away summon on the Highland, or even the new Juniper, because they don't have the gear selector stalks. Free to tap twice. But you might be able to hit that on the screen, park, and then, as long as you are able to turn off the require continuous press option in settings, then you could probably do that. Park on the screen, and then pick a direction forwards or back, and then it would just go that distance until it runs into something that makes it stop. I don't mean like colliding with, but like it senses something that says I can't go any further, and then just doesn't. Well, this one had a gear selector, so I wouldn't have been able to try that anyway. The one I was in had the little nubbies. You want this? Yeah. just tried to give it to you, but you didn't want it. You said, meh, meh. And now you want this. You've got a very mercurial nature about yourself, don't you? Oh, you do. Is that good milk? Slow down. Let me put the fast nipple on there. Robert says. Well, I told you it's a fast nipple. Here, nipple. Oh. Robert says having problems on Twitter. Oh no. Well, so that was my story, and that was our thing in the notebook about the Rivian with the NAX charger, NAX inlet, I should say. And with that, I am going to go enjoy the rest of this Father's Day. I'm going to eat my veggie pups and drink this drink. And this drink is cold cranberry juice with ice in it. A lot of it. And I wish all of you guys out there, all of you guys, a happy Father's Day as well. And thank you for showing up today and spending an hour with me. And next week, I will have some stuff in the notebook, and we'll discuss news and current events, and on this, this green living situation that we are all in. And hopefully, we'll have some people on video, but we'll definitely have some folks on in the space with the audio chat, because this is always fun. I enjoy it. Again, happy Father's Day to you, Highlander, and enjoy the rest of that time on the ship you've got there. And we will catch all of you guys on the flip side. We've got a Tesla Life Express tomorrow at 7 with Mark and Mark's channel at the Tesla Life. And on Wednesday, we'll be live. No spaces on the side, but definitely this live chat interaction as well. So we look forward to seeing you guys there. And I want to thank all of our channel members for your monetary contribution. It helps. I want to thank Mr. Winston for buying that model, the vehicle that you bought, because one, I'm glad to see you in it. Two, you got a perk, and your perk got me a no money out of pocket Surface. So I really appreciated that again the second time when that happened. I was glad for you when it happened, but then this, I was like, whoa, thank you, sir. And I will catch all of you guys next week right here, same-ish time, same place. So here we go.